So hi everybody, I'm going to start on talking about birthdays today. We've talked about different social occasions last week, and we're going to touch specifically on birthdays today, which is an interesting one because I think a lot of how we feel about birthdays is our own creation, because we probably have used them for many, many years as an excuse to drink more. So we don't need many excuses as individuals who like to partake of a few drinks. It just has to be a bad day. Somebody has to have said something horrible to us. We could just be hungry. I mean, we don't need many excuses. But the birthday excuse is one that's on a pedestal, because that's the one where you feel completely justified in any decision that you make about your drinking, because it's your day. And it's your birthday. So these are your rules and you can do what you like. Now for me, it just became another excuse to just drink loads. It actually wasn't that different to any other day if I think about it. But what I managed to do was persuade a few other people to come and join me because it was a celebration. That then made me feel a bit less guilty about absolutely caning it. So in reality, it actually was just like every other day as a drinker. I just managed to press gang a few more people in order to make me feel comfortable about what I was doing. But if we really think about it, our birthday, out of all the social occasions that we have in our diary, out of all the celebrations that we do throughout the year, the one day we have complete control over is our own birthday, because the only person that can make a decision about what to do that day is you. Yet somehow we feel powerless still to make a decision about our own birthdays. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So first of all, what I want to say to you is that of all the big tests that you're going to get in your first year of not drinking, there will be many, many firsts in your not drinking. The one that you can plan for, relish, and take complete ownership back of is your birthday. So I want you to do that. I want you to go, right, my birthday is in such and such a time, and this is going to be the day that I choose it to be, and the day that I choose it to be as a non-drinker. But if I just go back to my notes here, you can also use your birthday as an excuse not to change your habits. When I first looked at changing my drinking, I looked at the middle of April. I'd got a tax return, because I do my tax really quickly, because I'm normally owed money at the minute. And I did my tax return. I got some money back. And the minute I got some money back, I thought, I need to do something about my drinking. I should do something with this. I've got this little bit of a windfall. What shall I do? I need to do something. And so I started to look at booking a course about changing your drinking. And I looked at the dates. And then I started to muck around with the dates and go, well, I can't do that date because this is happening, and I can't do that date because that's happening. Oh, but I don't want to wait too long. You start doing that internal bargaining with yourself. Well, I can't do it then because of this and that. You begin to find excuses. And then I looked at a date that was 2 weeks before my birthday, and suddenly I realised what I was doing. I realised I was, on one hand trying to take my drinking seriously, on the other hand suggesting that this time isn't a right time, that time isn't a right time. And so I decided there and then, and I'm incredibly impulsive as a person because I'm an action-orientated person, I thought, sod it. 2 weeks. I'll do the course 2 weeks before my birthday, which is the next available one, and I'm going to do it because there is no good time to change your drinking. I owe it to myself to do something before another birthday passes, and at least I'll have 2 weeks under my belt of not drinking, and hopefully I'll be able to get through it with flying colours, whatever those flying colours are. So it's quite possible that at this point in time, you're already looking at your diary and saying, right, I want to change my drinking, but my birthday's coming up. Or I wonder if I can do enough before my birthday. And the truth is you just need to do it now. You wouldn't even be in Club Soda if you didn't want to do something about it. So now's the time to do it. The second thing about birthdays is to just really think about what your birthdays have been, right? So birthdays are we imbue them with all sorts of mythology, really, in society. There are special days. Some companies might give you a day off now. You should celebrate with cake. It's an excuse to go to the pub. We put lots of mythology around them, and we remind ourselves that these are our special day. But if I really think about it, every birthday I had, for probably even my 30th, are just days where I drank too much, I didn't enjoy myself thoroughly, I woke up the next day hungover, feeling miserable and sad and depressed and guilty. So for 10, 12, 13 years, I was repeating the same pattern every single birthday and still thinking that this was the way to celebrate my birthday. This was the way to treat myself to celebrate getting a year older. And it is a bit ridiculous, really, if you think about it, that you celebrate still being alive, being a year older, moving slowly through the years, with doing something that is so desperately harmful to your health that is likely to shorten your life. What dickheads are we? It's madness. So we keep repeating these same patterns because somewhere we're told that this is a special day and this is what we do. Truth is it's an excuse that we've got into, that the advertising tells us it should be our special day. In fact, I probably get 5, 10, 15 emails from restaurants and bars saying, come and have 2-for-1 cocktails on your birthday, la 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 la, it's your special day, come and spend money and get really trashed with us and have a hangover. And you've probably got friends who really encourage you to have a birthday event, not because they want you to have a nice birthday, because they want an excuse to go out drinking too. They know it's another day where they've got implicit societal permission to go out and get completely drunk and be able to go and tick, oh well, it was Laura's birthday and she was celebrating and I wanted to celebrate with her. So we create these perpetual myths with our friendship group, in ourselves, and by totally agreeing with the advertising because it suits us, it suits the drinking that we want to do. So just like all the other social occasions that we talked about a few weeks ago, it's time for you to blow the lid off what birthdays are. So first of all, have a little think about your past birthdays. Write down, were they really memorable? Were they really amazing? Did you feel totally great, not only on the day, but the day after? I'm sure in amongst all of that, there are some amazing times that you've had, some lovely times you've had with people. And write those down too, because you want to be able to recreate those now with your new sober identity. And just because you're not drinking anymore, it doesn't mean you can't have a great time with people. It doesn't mean you can't have special occasions. It doesn't mean people can't treat you. It's just that you need to change the parameters. You need to change the rules. And because this is your birthday, you are totally in charge of the rules. So I no longer ever want to see an excuse in the community where somebody says, oh, but it's my birthday, I didn't have a choice. Actually, this is one day where you had the choice. Oh, it's my birthday and everyone expected ... No, everyone expects to do what you ask them because it's your birthday you're celebrating. So no longer are there any excuses. You're never allowed to start a sentence again with, the problem is... No. The next time I want you to hear you write about your birthday, you say, it's my birthday, so I've planned to do A, B and C because that's what I want to do. So that's the important thing about changing that mindset around your birthday, that this is a day totally in your control and this is something that you can choose how you celebrate and really bat away that mythology of previous years, because basically what you've done is repeated being wankered every year for however many years. So your birthday is within your control. Okay, so how do you make sure that you have a sober birthday? So first of all, it is to rip up the rule book. There is no rules about what you should do, how long those events should last, whether you have those events with one person or many people. There are no rules, right? So anything that you're told by email, by advertisers, by friends or anybody, there are no rules around your birthday. It's a day that you choose to have. It's a day that's important to you and not to anybody else. So sod the rules. There aren't any. Break them. It's gone. Everything is up for grabs. Then you need to do your perspective shift. And it's just like everything else about changing your drinking. It may feel awkward and weird in year one because getting through these firsts is a really challenging thing. But once you've got through your first, it gets easier and easier and easier. And so now I've done 5 birthdays because I gave up just before my birthday. And It gets easier because I don't really give a fuck about birthdays, actually. I did care about my 42nd, but I couldn't persuade other people that that was a significant birthday because clearly no one's quite as geeky as me. But to be honest, you know, birthdays are what I choose them to be, and I choose them to be not that important and not that special. So you need a perspective shift, and by year 2 it will have stuck a bit more. And I looked at a quote on a website earlier that I really liked, and because we always have this view that somehow it's not possible to have fun without drink, and alcohol has been essential to our idea of fun for such a long time. And there's a woman on XO Jane website that said, without alcohol, I thought I would never laugh until I choked again, never wear a pretty dress, never attend another party, never dance. I can still remember the moment that it dawned on me that I could still go to parties. I couldn't drink at them, but it's a seemingly obvious realisation that it completely shifted my perspective, like how I imagine babies feel when they first discover their own feet. And it's true, fun just becomes something different. Some fun becomes something you planned. But fun also becomes something you can guarantee a little bit more, because you wouldn't have got to that point in the night where you've drunk a bit too much and things cease to be fun. You won't have the hangover the next day where the fun that you might have had the night before suddenly doesn't feel worth it. Fun suddenly becomes more in your control. So you need to rip up the rule book. You need to get a perspective shift on what fun and what your birthday is. You need to 100% own this day, and then you need to plan. And there's several areas you need to plan. First of all, people. Now, you do not have to spend your birthday with everyone all at one point in time in one room with tons of alcohol. There is no rule that says that. Your birthday could spread out over a number of days, where you go and have coffee that lasts 20 minutes with some people, a meal that lasts several hours with others, sex that lasts 10 seconds with some others. Whatever it is that you want to do, it doesn't have to be one thing. You don't have to bring inappropriate people together all in one room, which was my real big skill in life. Was always, I actually brought somebody else on a first date. I didn't quite realise it was a first date, but I brought somebody else on a first date who also fancied me. Really bad. So I'm really bad at not reading the signs, so I don't have to worry about that anymore, because I want to see people on their own terms. So so decide the people that you want to spend time with, not the people that you end up spending time with. Decide how you would like to spend time with them and what's a meaningful time for you. Decide who you might want to avoid. And there may be some people who might particularly love caning on your birthday because it's an excuse for them to drink, and you might decide that this year you might avoid them. Doesn't mean you have to not be friends with them, doesn't mean you have to disown them on Facebook, doesn't mean that you can't spend time with them next year, but maybe this year they're not the people you want to spend the most time with. It's your birthday, these are your hours to spend as you wish. Reserve your precious time for people you want to be with, for people who support you. You should not feel bad about having the day that is yours. So if there's any people that you think are going to give you stress for not drinking, think, well, this is my day and I deserve to spend it with people who aren't going to give me a ball ache about not drinking. I deserve to spend a day with people where I feel supported and loved and cared for. So choose your people. Then next, choose your places. Is there someone new you wanted to try? Is there an experience that you have always had on your list that you've never done? Is there something you read about in a magazine that sounded interesting but you thought you might need to drive, or it's a bit too far away? Well, your birthday is a day where you can get people to travel a bit further, that you can get them to put longer time aside to do something different. Do you want to do something that supports your drinking goal? Might it be, you know, going and treating yourself at a spa? Is it going to play Premier League football in a football league? Is it about going to Go Ape? I want to Go Ape. I think I should do that for my next birthday, and muck around in the wild and the countryside. It's your birthday. Do it, make it happen, because the one thing that you can do on your birthday is ask people to go that extra mile. And if that extra mile is literally an extra mile, then do it. This is the time. You'll also feel like you've given yourself a gift by doing something that you've always wanted to do but had always deferred and procrastinated about and put off. Then there are things. You may get you will probably get boozy gifts and cards. I'll talk about those in a minute. But you may want to start saying to some friends who you're more comfortable with, that may often buy you gifts, that it's important to you that they don't buy you a boozy gift anymore. I also suggest you plan what you will do if you get a boozy gift, because the temptation suddenly comes in your hand, and the temptation comes while somebody's saying it's your birthday, it's your special day, you deserve this. So it really plays into that inner saboteur. You're holding a drink and la la la. So you may want to decide what to do with it. Quick peek, thank you very much, be polite, and then go, right, which raffle, which charity, which wherever, what are you going to do with this? Even find a friend, right, who you can nominate just to give this drink to, and ask them that if I get boozy gifts this year, how about I save them and give them to you, and when we go out you buy me mocktails? Or if it's quite a bit and it's quite expensive, would you mind giving me some Amazon vouchers instead? Will you buy it off of me? The time I won 6 bottles of champagne, and I literally, everyone in the room was trying to get these bottles of champagne off me. Oh, Laura, you don't want these bottles of champagne, you don't drink. I was going, like hell. I carried these home on public transport, and I auctioned them for £200 to friends who knew what I was doing with club soda, but also wanted some champagne at a good price. They got a good bargain. But so you might be able to find a way to do something with it for charity or even for yourself, and do a deal with the friends that you've got it planned, and that temptation doesn't stay there. Don't take it home with you. Leave it at work, leave it at car, put it straight in somebody's hand, put it in the bin, leave it on the street. Maybe don't leave it on the street. Have a plan for it. But if you can, speak to some friends and tell them that you don't want alcohol this year as a present, and actually ask them, and this is a great time actually to get people on as your cheerleaders, ask them for their support for you in the next year on your alcohol-free journey, because for you that's the most important thing for you right now. That's a great gift to ask for, and it might throw them a curveball, but why not? Then you need to beware the internal saboteur. So, I mean, our internal saboteur doesn't need many excuses, but your birthday is a really, really strong, compelling one. It will have a mantra that you deserve to drink, that it's your birthday. So you can begin to write down all those logic things that you know will come up, because it's not like your birthday is a big surprise, right? It's coming up on the horizon. You know the date. Although you'll think my mother knew the date, wouldn't you? But no, forgets every year. It's now a family tradition. But start writing down the things that will that you will tell your internal saboteur when it tries to put you off course. You can go, no, I'm a year older and I want to carry on getting years older, and so for my health I'm not drinking this birthday. Why would doing something nice for myself on the birthday actually be about doing something harmful to myself? I'm not going to do that. This birthday is about treating myself, cherishing myself, treating myself with respect, and owning the day. Wow, actually you can make your birthday a real day that consolidates everything you've learned over the few months or weeks up until your birthday where you've not been drinking or trying not to drink. Use it as a day to consolidate. It's a really lovely date stamp in the year to go, right, this is it. This is me now. This is the new me. And as I enter 42, 43, obviously 22 for me, then this is the person I'm going to be in this new year ahead. And finally, remember, oh, it's not finally actually, but remember you're developing a skill. Nothing happens all at once, people. You will on your birthday feel cravings, feel discomfort, want to do something and feel that you're not doing what you normally do. You might be a bit unhappy on your birthday, because that happens even if you're not drinking. It won't all be a day of lovely roses and chiming music and birds singing around your head. It probably won't, but that's okay, because that happens to people that don't drink. That happens to people that do drink, having bad days. And you're developing a skill so that next year this becomes easier, and every year after that it gets easier again and easier again and easier again. This is about you. This is about you taking on a new year and making sure that it's the year that you want it to be. So finally, you can develop a birthday whoop. So decide on your wish. My birthday wish is to have an alcohol-free birthday. And if I have this alcohol-free birthday, it means I'll be starting off the next year, you know, with my new identity, completely alcohol-free, without a hangover. On the first day of the new year for me, I'll be hangover free, and I'll feel very proud that I've got through a key milestone without drinking. You will feel absolutely phenomenal, and I'll tell you about my story shortly. And so what are the obstacles to that? Well, the obstacles are you're in a saboteur. The obstacles are your people, places and things that are normally trigger you around your birthday. Start making a list of those, and then work out your plan. This is your plan for when you get a boozy gift. This is your plan from when Trevor from accounts thinks that he wants to take you out for a birthday drink. This is your plan for your day. This is the plan for the people you want to see. Plan it. That's the great thing about a birthday, because you know it's coming along, so you can really put some effort into this, and you will come out far stronger from your birthday if you can make this happen. Now for me, I accidentally did all of this when I was changing my drinking. Like I say, most of the things that I did when I changed my drinking were by accident, but what I did was create a perfect storm of behaviour change. What's the right word for it? Probably behaviour change disruptions that made it possible for me. And they're all the things that are happening to you now. So for my birthday, I decided to go and see my closest friend who knew what I was doing and also was really supportive. I went to see them at their hometown, so I changed my surroundings. It wasn't about doing the same old, walking past the same old pub, doing all of those things. And I went with my partner at the time who'd also given up drinking. So I created a perfect storm of people. I also invited for dinner that evening my cousin who lived nearby, who's somebody I want to get to know better. I don't know her too well, but she's also given up drinking. There were days... The reason why I don't know her so well actually is the only times we've seen each other, we used to get totally blasted. So actually I invited her to that birthday as well. And I booked one night in a really posh hotel where I could go and use all the facilities. Next night I was staying at my friend's, but I did something that was about treating myself. So I spent my birthday with a small number of people that knew what I was doing, that cared about me very strongly, and were there to support me all the way. I then went for a meal, and actually I really did want my friends to order wine. My cousin's dry now, but my friends ordered wine, but they didn't order lots of wine. But actually I asked them to, because I wanted to be in a drinking environment and not drink, not be in a separated environment. And we had a lovely meal. And we talked, and it was fine, because these are people I can talk with comfortably. And then, despite the fact that we hardly drank anything with the meal anyway, the Italians still came with limoncello for the whole table for free at the end. And I burst into tears but not for just one reason, for loads of reasons, but all good reasons. I couldn't believe I'd got to my birthday and actually got to 2 weeks without drinking. I was actually quite pleased. I wanted to turn away the limoncello, but I also couldn't quite believe I was turning away free alcohol on my birthday, but I was also happy that I was. So I had this well of unexplainable mix of emotions that made me want to cry, and I did, and that's okay, because I was with friends who knew and cared, and I said, I just can't explain it, but I just feel an overwhelming sense of emotion, because, like, I'm turning away from the alcohol, but I'm okay about it, and it's fine, and you've drank, and it's happy, and we're on my birthday. And then it was all okay afterwards. It's fine. And then I went back and I used the posh facilities in the hotel again. I woke up early in the morning and used them again. I tell you, I get my money's worth. And then I spent a lovely day with my friends. So, you know, I created that perfect storm. Birthdays are not the same every year. Birthdays can be whatever you want them to be. And I think that's a really important thing to remember. This is a day that you 100% own. So I wanted to then just touch on rebuffing boozy birthday gifts and gestures, because I also realised that for at least 4 years after I gave up drinking, I received, and I don't get many cards, right? Because I'm not a card person in particular. I always used to say to people, right? Don't get me a card. It's like £2.45. Buy me a drink instead. Oh, what a conniving, sneaky, terrible person I was. But I don't get many cards. They're not my big thing. But actually for 4 years after giving up, I would still always get a card that had a booze theme about it. Oh, just like wine, you're getting better with age. And all that sort of crap. And you might get those memes on your Facebook as well, because somebody's found a funny picture and they don't know your circumstances. So what do you do if you get a card like that? Well, first of all, have some fun picking apart the logic. So if, like wine, I get better with age, but that's not really true, is it? Because actually wine ages you, and it contributes to all of the things that are going to ail me as I get older, from my menopause through to mental health, through damaging my bones. So actually, I have the potential, unlike wine, to actually get better with age, to actually be better without wine. So why don't you just look at those cards and start to unpick the logic, scoff at them, take a picture, share it on the group and go, oh, I can't believe people send me this thing. That's allowed, because you just need to be able to just look at it and be a bit angry, but also know that it's not true. In fact, you also have permission to throw them away. No one will know. There's no rule that says you have to put a card up on your mantelpiece. There's no rule that says you have to keep a card for a set number of days. There's no rule that says that you can't tear off the front of the card that's got the inappropriate boozy message, put it in the recycling and then keep just the message, or take a photograph of it if you want to keep it for prosperity, or in fact turn it over and write your birthday whoop on the most inappropriate card that you get. Let's just own this day, right? Just take that inappropriate card, write your birthday whoop on the other side. Same with your inappropriate birthday Facebook posts. You know what? You can stop seeing them. If you press the little arrow on the top right hand side, you can hide notifications and you can hide that post from your stream. So even if other people comment on it, because that's a really annoying bit, right? If somebody else goes, oh, I didn't realise it's your birthday until I saw this post by our mutual friend, so I'm going to say happy birthday on that post, and it keeps bumping it up your Facebook feed. Hide the post. You don't have to see it. Delete the post if you want to. I think you can, but you can just hide it, hide notifications. It's fine. If you want to look at it, you can look at it again later when you're feeling stronger. So you can do that. Then, like I said, decide what you're going to do with any boozy gifts you get. You know, give them to charity, give them to a raffle, give them to a friend, swap them for Amazon vouchers. And then what do you do with drink invites on a boozy birthday? Well, anyone who really knows you and cares about you should know the journey that you're on. If they don't, then this may be the birthday where you want to avoid them slightly. But you also might want to take this as an opportunity to practice saying out loud that you're not drinking anymore. So, you know what, this birthday I'm gifting myself a restorative birthday, so I'm having an alcohol-free night. So thanks for your drink offer, but I'll just have a tonic. Or I'm not going to the pub tonight because I'm having a restorative, remembering birthday. I want to do that. So say it out loud, say whatever you want. I've decided that this birthday starts a year of not drinking for me. I want to see how it feels. So thanks for your offer, but I'm going to go and get a smoothie or a frozen yogurt down the road. Or you can say, I'm only doing things that are going to improve my well-being this year, and I'm starting today, and I've decided not to drink this year. Use it as an opportunity to come out, but come out in a way that says, today I am treating myself. And that treating of myself doesn't involve alcohol, because there is no way that alcohol is treating myself. So find a way to say it. Kickstart the new year, the new you. And always make sure that you plan your avoid, control and escape strategies in any situation. So, you can control something by deciding where you go, deciding what you're going to drink in advance. You can escape. Nobody says you have to stay at anything that's too long, that you don't want to be at. You can avoid by just not doing them to begin with. And all of that is okay, because this is your birthday and it's a day that you have 100% control over. Finally, what can you do instead? Now, we often talk about needing to do other things instead of drinking and to distract yourself from drinking. Well, in the few weeks leading up to your birthday, why not spend some time online investigating what you want to do instead? It will open up a whole world of things that you can do, not just on your birthday. But that research will actually be worth doing. And you'll find something in that you want to do on your birthday. So what could you do? Well, you can go to a movie, which is very simple, I guess. But you could go and see 2 movies back to back, because there are no rules that say that you don't and can't. So you could go for a double bill. You could find a cinema that's running an all-night showing. You could go in the afternoon, go for something to eat, and then go again in the evening. Who cares? You know, it's your birthday. Theatre, comedy, concert, they're all things that you can do that, yes, there will be people drinking at, but the main purpose of being there isn't about drinking. Obviously, you could do a spa day, but you can also do a 1-day membership of a gym. If you go on our website, you can go to, there's a 1-day pass pay-as-you-go gym where you can actually pay just the day to go to quite a fancy pants gym. And do that and go, well, I'm just going to do this gym on this one day. It's going to cost me £10.50. I'm going to hang out, do some exercise, feel like Wonder Woman. Boom, job done. You could actually spend the day on your own, which I've done before. You can have a little mini adventure, go for the day by the sea, eat ice cream, eat what you want, you know, lark around, make sandcastles. It doesn't really matter. Or you could go with somebody else and have a mini adventure. Go to a museum or an art exhibition or a spooky street tour. There are tons around every city in the UK. And don't forget, you can drive. So don't look at things that are only, you know, 5 miles from your home. You could go to the next town. And nothing says that you have to do birthday celebrations in the evening. You can do them in the day too. Sign up for an adult education course. Do a 1-day course. Go on a 1-day yoga day. There are tons of 1-day things going on, gong baths, you know, all sorts of stuff. Have a look. There might be something on in your town on the day of or around the day of your birthday or even the evening of your birthday. You could even have a movie night in. That could just involve box sets. That does sound like normal, but, you know, if you are out a lot, a day in is a lovely luxury and a lovely treat. Go on a mini break, go for a walk. You know, a Sunday, Monday night, 2 nights in a hotel is far cheaper than a Friday and Saturday. So take an extra day off, go and do a mini break, or do a health challenge. I don't know. Those are some of the things. They're not the only things, but these have to be things that fill you with joy or that you want to try out to see if they fill you with joy. And it doesn't matter if they don't. You would have just done something different for your birthday. It's your day. So I'd encourage you to see this as your day, to know that it's 100% within your control, to see this day as also the start of a new year and the ability for you to go another year without drinking, a whole year ahead of you without drinking or moderating your drinking, and set yourself up for the way that you mean to go on. Yeah, because you know what? It's okay. It's okay to do what you want. Cool. Right, I think that's it. I'm just going to check if there are any questions. It's your party and you cry if you want. I was not going to sing that, right? I was not going to sing, it's my birthday and I cry if I want to, cry if I want to. Because I can't sing, by the way. Cry if I want to, I would cry too if it wasn't for you. You can play that loud. You can play any music you want loud on your birthday. Cool? Sharon here. Da-da. Cool. Right, guys, I think that's it. I think that's your birthday sussed. So, you know, come on the group just before your birthday if you want some help and ideas. But, you know, begin to start planning. It doesn't even matter if that birthday is 6 months away. And if you're worried about not enjoying yourself totally on your birthday, then, you know, and then it might be a bit of a white knuckle ride, then plan a half birthday so that once you've got feeling more used to being on your own, without drinking and sober, you can celebrate again 6 months down the line, because there are no rules about that either. Cool, brilliant. Break the rules. Off you go now.